Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Lisa Martin with Silver Spring Town Center. So happy to have you joining us for a poetry gathering in celebration of Black History Month, hosted by the incredible poet Brenda Bunting. Brenda is also, as you know, our president of our board of SSTCi. And so she does an awesome job, and there are some awesome poets who will be joining her. And if you are interested in sharing a poem, because it's a sort of open mic format, then just send us a message in the chat. Before we get started, I just wanted to thank a few important people, like our sponsors, Montgomery County, the Arts and Humanities of Montgomery County, United Therapeutics, Montgomery College, Maryland State Arts, and many others, including this month's Black History Month sponsors, Global Sustainable Partnerships, the Healthcare Initiative Foundation, and the Black Physicians Healthcare Network. They are working collaboratively to reach communities of color to help get everyone vaccinated and healthy. And they work on a variety of projects to get better health to members of our community. This is our last program for Black History Month. We've had quite a ride throughout. Even though it's a short month of February, we had it jam-packed, and we are still going strong. Starting March 1st, we have a program. We actually have two programs that are putting the spotlight on homelessness, including a lecture with Smithsonian curator Jim Deutsch, Hearing Homelessness, Voices from DC's Unhoused Community, and that will be this Tuesday, March 1st at 7 p.m. And then on Wednesday, March 9th, we have Nepantla Place, a one-woman show created by Liv Gara, artistic director Wanda Whiteside, and that will be Wednesday, March 9th at 7. And it's a dramatic one-woman show that Wanda created based on a real life woman living in Silver Spring who is experiencing homelessness. And that should be a wonderful program. This week, with March 1st is Peace Corps Day, and the whole week is Peace Corps Week. I'm a returned Peace Corps volunteer, and I'm hosting a special program called it's going to be on Wednesday, March 3rd at 7, and that's called a Peace Corps Museum Share and Tell. And we'll be joined by other returned Peace Corps volunteers sharing items from their countries of service. So it will be stories and seeing interesting things from around the globe. So I hope you can join us on Wednesday. So good to see so many old friends and new, and so many wonderful poets we have in the house. So now I will introduce our host, Brenda Bunting. Let me just pull up her bio, even though she's right here beside me. I could just rave about Brenda off the cuff, but I like to also read the proper bio. So Brenda Bunting, teacher, poet, and spoken word artist. Brenda Bunting is an outspoken advocate for racial, social, environmental equity and justice. She is the current president of SSTCi and is pursuing her master's of teaching at NYU. And she also was just recognized for an award there. She won a poetry competition. So we are very proud of Brenda's work and her leadership. And so regularly published online and in print, Brenda believes in the therapeutic use of writing poetry for mental and emotional wellness and healing from traumatic events. She is a literary reader in Prince George's County, Maryland, and a lifetime member of the Kentucky State Poetry Society. Her book, Poems of Love and Violence in Between Life and Death, second edition, is available on Amazon, and we'll put that in the chat later. And those of you who have books, you're welcome to share your links or links to your websites too as we go along. So let's get started. I'll turn it over to Brenda now for a poetry gathering in celebration of Black History Month.
Thank you, Lisa. It is really neat to be here with Lisa. This is the first time I have done a Zoom together with her. And so it's just amazing to have the energy, her energy in the room. And so I want to welcome and thank all of you for coming. I'm so happy to see every one of you. Please, please, please feel free to share a poem, put that in the chat. Because I don't want to spend the whole 2 hours or however long we are reading myself. I do want to hear other voices celebrating Black history, celebrating poetry, celebrating life, and celebrating love. And, we can just take a deep breath, everyone, because so think about this, right? We have beauty and ugliness going on at the same time. We have Russia declared war on Ukraine. We have people suffering over there, untold people full of terror. But then we have our first African-American woman, right, nominated to the Supreme Court. And so this is the life that is. It is a combination of the beauty and the ugly. It's a combination of the great and the terrible. And so let's just take this time to embrace all of it. Like I firmly don't believe you have to shy away from something and live in a fantasy land to have a wonderful life. Embrace all of it. Do what you can, what you feel motivated to do to help, and do what you can to bring joy to someone's life. So I'm always just in my mind for the last, couple of weeks has been Lucille Clifton, come celebrate with me, won't you celebrate with me? So this is a poem that I'm going to read called When I Think of Skin Color, because we are all the human family, as Maya Angelou said. And sometimes we forget that. Like, I don't know who else we think we are, but we all are of the race called human. So this is when I think of skin color. I sat like stone waiting for water to move me, but nothing seemed to move Black labeled skin. I sat with it, rejecting the weight forced upon me, pushing back against perception. I am a mighty lover. The trees enjoyed my approach. They understood the crown I wore, for they had one too. There was nothing strange or unnatural about me. I was beautiful to them. I felt their accepting embrace as our air intermingled. I am part of the natural world, a most vibrant creation. No appearance disturbing, language inferior, or movements abnormal to nature's course. They understand the life beat of my journey, a graceful womb walker full of promise and seed. I bring forth mightily, like some bearing children, like all others bearing fruit of the soul. I do not require alteration. My strength rises up out of the nurturing compassion of my heart. I blow kisses to the sun that touches my skin in bronze fashion, with hands and feet peeping undersides of white. When I think of skin color, there we are, reflecting in the soils of earth, from the Black, rich and fertile, to the ruddy red clay, to the vast golden yellow deserts, to the immaculate white sands, the beauty and diversity of colorful flowers springing forth in their seasons, dwelling in meadows harmonious. I hear their contented singing, walking barefoot in careful fashion, while they grow in thoughtful patterns of expression. Won't you follow me, they are saying? Won't you follow me? So that is when I think of skin color. So we do have someone who is wanting to share a poem. Great, great, great. And so let me do this. Let me change the view so I can see a little bit better. There we are. So if you want to come off of the mic and share your piece, Bernardo, we would be very happy to hear you share a poem. And this guy is amazing, Bernardo Taylor. He is part of Collective Voices, and he has been doing poetry in this area for a while. If you want to share more about where you're hosting at, Bernardo, just go ahead and unmute, and you can go ahead.
Share this video there.
Brenda, what's most likely to happen is that this is kind of like really on the spot.
Okay. Do you want me to give you a minute?
Yeah, give me a minute. Well, all right, let's do it this way. I got a couple poems pulled up because I was trying to follow the flow of the program, and the program was I have a old favorite of Kings and Mountains, something I wrote when I was with Collective Voices. I'm already Dr. King. Then there's a piece I wrote a couple years ago called This Year Black History, which talks about the ongoing piece of Black history. And then there's a piece I just finished writing this year, this February, called YGB, My Testimony, My Plea, for a program at Creative Suitland. So that's the latest. That's the latest baby out the box, because I believe in writing about every subject in life. And so, of course, God made me a Black man because he needed me. He needed to be able to pour his stories through me, and from that perspective. So I've got a lot of Black history poems, you know.
That's awesome.
So I will leave it up to you, since you called me this early, and I don't know what the flow is. Which of these three do you want to hear?
Well, whichever one that you feel like you want to do first, you can do. And then do you want me to sprinkle you through the program? Like,
okay, that'll work.
Yeah. So you do whatever you want to do first, second, third. Okay. And I'll circle back.
Well, let's do this one. Let's do beginning, because this is a beginning poem.
Okay.
It's called This Year Black History. Every year, a countdown begins. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. February 1st, Black History Month has begun. 28 days exploring the ways we, the minority in the United States as a whole, needed to see our stories told, so that we, brothers and sisters of the darker hue, can expand beyond the majority's point of view that we don't matter like they do. How does that appear this year for you, or you, or you? What new thing will you bring or learn from the past? What image will you present that will endure? Will we once again recite the one about the one who wears the mask? Will we keep singing about we shall overcome? Will we yet repeat the speech of free at last, free at last? Or measured on what scale, who will dare to ask? What will be the answer? Do we chance a guess at what will be revealed, advanced, confessed? Black history, this mystery keeps calling us to task. Every year a new countdown begins. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. February 1st, Black History Month has begun.
Thank you so much, Bernardo. Awesome, I always enjoy your poetry so much. That is wonderful. We're gonna circle back around to you. And I am going to see if maybe we can get a poem from the incomparable Diane Wilbon Parks. She's in the house. And I'm putting her on the spot to see if she'd be interested, and whether she wants to or not. Either way, Diane will bomb her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if you're interested in sharing, if not, that's fine too. We would love to have you share something.
Well, I want to say good evening. It's so wonderful to hear your voice. I am a little bit under the weather, and my voice is a little bit deeper because I have a cold. But because I have been asked, I will read. I hope I can get through this. And this is a poem entitled The Inherited Journey. Can you all hear me? Okay. So this is entitled The Inherited Journey, and this is a poem that I wrote after visiting Woodlawn. Many of you know that I'm a member of Voices of Woodlawn. And again, it is entitled The Inherited Journey. I look across fields that flung purple journeys, heavy with sound. Then I go back to the fields of my mind, desperate to see, but come up empty. I am here where you were, where you plucked the earth, where your whole body was fractionalized and demoralized, where your stood was bent, your fullness emptied. I reach inside your footprints and fingerprints, but the earth has covered you in thick green grass. I know that you are still here because you are pulling me, and the will of your spirit will not let go. I hear your whispers still wailing. My bones crackle like wood burning. The sparks that have spun up are raw. I feel you rattling in my spirit, your bones beating, threading into tattered stories. But the blood is still sealed with the blood of Jesus, never broken. I am from the leaves and the trees of my people, from the eyes and the forgiving hearts of my people. I am from the songs and the hopes and the dreams and the will of my people. I am from the trials and the tribulations and the forget-me-nots of my people's nation. From the hands of pickers, growers, sowers, builders, diggers, cleaners, cookers, fetchers, leaders, thinkers, doers, believers, all are my people. I am kept by the field of my mind's eye, where the field is forever becoming much clearer. And the story of my people will reap a harvest from then to now, from as far back as oceans decide, as up close as 40 acres, to the droplets of rain that dances in between the songs of rivers, of hallelujahs, to God's everlasting love and favor. I am the footprint, the voice of the whispers of long ago that spirits the will to feel the hollowed out stories of my people. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, Diane. Incredible, incredibly powerful poetry. Talking about the people. It is just woo. She comes through every time. So we have a lot of poets in here, and I'm surprised that we don't have more people wanting to do a sign up for the open mic. So that's what the format is. I'm going to share another poem, and hopefully we'll have a couple of more people who will go ahead and who will sign up for the open mic. And remember, this is open mic. It's not a competition. It doesn't have to be, you know, some fancy poem or anything like that. So shoot your shot. We would definitely love to hear it. The energy that's coming across is good energy. So I feel like everybody's enjoying it. But I want you to participate as well. Okay. So this piece I'm going to read now is called Are We Only Black America? Black bodies lie in white spaces, in open roadways, byways, and freeways. They are injured from metal forgings, the iron bars, steel handcuffs, and metal knees, the iron fingers, steel bullets, and metal weapons. Wherever Black bodies are, they are in the way. Sitting in families, working in communities, living in towns, commuting in cities, surviving in states, citizens in countries, God's Black mistakes, in theory, grace the earth. Decibels, levels, ascending the angry trumpeters, spread whole nets across groups of people, natives, indigenous, earth healers, water lovers, tree huggers, uncivilized all. The irrelevant peaceful are posed for death and dying, for the progress of parasites. Clinging creatures move forward in feasting slowly and indifferently, torturing everything along the way. Hear culture terms now: systemic racism, economic imbalance, and food deserts. There is no homeland for the kidnapped and no land of return for her children. They stand in neglected places seeking shelter, eating bitter unripe fruit and filthy bread. The pretense of justice trembles under scrutiny. It shreds free thought into ribbons on corporate plantations that lure the weekend to bite into their souls with sharpened teeth. They shape into skeletal harbingers until pale dancing are ivory white carvings. The starving and poor are needed for charitable CEOs, bloody proof of good. Black is disappearing in shadows of nightfall. Moonlight glows with white light. Black is receding into dark corners. White houses dot the landscape. Black lava flows into empty caverns. The urban sprawl and suburban spread. The civilized suit up, armor plated and ready for more. The eyes of Black lives are waiting. They too, we too are ready for more. Great. Great. So that was Are We Only Black America? Okay, so we have another lovely, fabulous poet. Just looking forward to hearing her, Miss Cayenne. And if you would, do us the pleasure of introducing yourself. Like I said, this is an open mic format. You can say as much or as little as you want. She's a wonderful poet and she hosts at Busboys and Poets, and she is gracing our stage virtually tonight. So we'll turn it over to Miss Cayenne.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see and hear your voices, those that I know and even those that I don't know. It's good to see your faces. I am Miss Cayenne. I'm a poet and I know it. As Brenda indicated, I am one of the hosts at Busboys and Poets in the DMV area, currently hosting at the Shirlington location, as well as the Anacostia, which will be opening up again for open mics next month. So I'm excited about that. And I'm also the proud owner of Cayenne Ink, Healing in the Pen. It's a poetry business. Basically, we foster hope, healing, and social change through poetry, through poetic spoken word, through poetic products, and when there's not a panoramic going on, sometimes events too. I'm gonna do a poem called No Longer. And this piece is kind of new. I have a Facebook group that we do writing prompts, on a weekly basis. And this writing prompt was, you can write anything you want, whatever it was. It just had to begin with this phrase. The phrase is, I woke up and I was not blank anymore. The blank, you filled it in with whatever your nationality or ethnicity of origin, or whatever you identified as your nationality of origin. So the phrase was, I woke up and I was not blank anymore. And this is my rendition for that prompt. I woke up and I was not African anymore. I no longer felt tethered to their names. No longer had to say their names because, well, my name mattered now. I no longer flatlined when the blue light pulled over my black car. I no longer flinched when Tammy ghost busted the walls of my personal space. I no longer cared if we all got along. I had no interest in the charred bones hidden in Tulsa's closet. I no longer felt the water welch on my outer thigh. I no longer despised the sight of water hoses on fire trucks sirening by. I lost my composure to doodle a young Emmett's unrecognizable face in my journals. Now there was white space, and all the black smudges were erased. I no longer felt the pinch of pain around my neck every time I passed through underground railroad country. Trees that beckoned to me, stay a while, sit under me and let me tell you a story. I no longer fell asleep to Araminta's freedom songs. I no longer could smell the stench of traumatized pheromones choking me at the bottom of the whale's belly. I no longer suffered flashbacks of disappearing ships from the sea shores that I was sure I would never see again. I no longer bore the scars of a nation. I woke up and I was not African anymore. Consequently, I no longer held in my chest the heart of Genesis, the beginning of everything, black, brown, olive, red, and white. I no longer felt the war cry of Ya Asantewa gushing through my veins, pulsing beneath my skin. No longer did I glimmer in Ghanaian gold, the origin of Black girl magic. I no longer drank from the cups of Black power, Black Panthers, or Black pride. I no longer kept metrics like 755 home runs, 2,297 RBIs, 6,856 bases. Hail to the Hank. I no longer was married to the miracle of Barack or the phenomenalness of Michelle. I was no longer uncontrollably possessed by the djembe or any syncopated sound like the tick-tock of double Dutch ropes or the bip-bap of basketball drills. I no longer donned divinely designed dresses of darkness passed down from my grandmothers, Dorothy and Mary. I woke up and I was no longer. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that wonderful, wonderful piece. That was
really awesome.
Amazing. And you was like, I just listen. I'm like, you better read something for us, Miss Cayenne. And you did it. So thank you so much for gracing our virtual stage. We love and appreciate you and your words. Absolutely. Everybody who is coming to the stage is just so wonderful. And like I said, it's just so much celebration. We have so much to be thankful for. And sometimes we just want to get in that space, right? Where it's just like, you know what? We're not ignoring things, but just for this short period of time, we are going to celebrate all things Black, all things beautiful. We're going to celebrate the human family. So, I have this piece, Ancestor Worship. I'm going to read this. To you, my mighty ancestor, the stars shone in your eyes as you endured the endless indignities. You keep telling me to look at the sky and find the mighty power of hope and shake off despair like falling leaves in rain as my own torrents gush out in pain and intensifies to overload my system. A hand is held out from the grave. Arms wrap me in comfort past death. Your love is without corruption, no crooked path to the ancient shining. I want to lean against a tree and cry until I disappear into a sturdy trunk and find the passion to release my fears into its strength. To you, my mighty ancestor, I feel your suffering in my bones. You have diminished to the integral parts of my beginning, the foundational threads that twine itself throughout my core, and we are in lockstep precision, stepping through new life journeys in the twilight consciousness of my heart. I seek the release of oblivion, but that which is made cannot be unmade, only destroyed, and that which is done cannot be undone, only acknowledged. We are touched by the first penetrating moments of hatred, but love still. The heartless move acts like hewing great centuries until wood chips of bitter use are all that is left. I do not want to exist in the same space as these, breathing their grasping air and commingle as they rise early with hearts of thievery and minds of madness. They mete out anguish to the gentle and rejoice in oppression. To you, my mighty ancestor, the spirit shifting of damnation floods the world in their stink, and we are all drowning. If I open my mouth to honor you and commiserate from morning until evening, from the beginning of my words speak until the last of my life, it would not be enough to wrap you in newness and buffer from your sorrow. To you, my mighty ancestor, who made a world of ease for the undeserving, full of skill and humble power, I touch the secret of your greatness. In the drum beats of my heart, Mother Africa was born inside me. She rooted in my hair and covered my skin with her spirit. She bathed in my tears and rejoiced in my laughter. And in the depths of my despair, I found I loved her. The ancestor tall has risen inside me, stepping forth as sacred as divination.
That was so awesome, Brenda. And I brought Brenda some roses because she won another poetry prize recently.
Thank
So,
you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
You always do such beautiful work.
Oh,
and
I
it's
appreciate
so
you
moving.
so much. Look at this. I got some flowers, y'all.
We're having a party here.
Yes, we are. We're having a little party. We got a little woo that we're, kind of enjoying some fruit and drink. I'm gonna put these lovely flowers, thank you, in some water and just hope that, so I hope everybody's having a good time. I hope you're feeling the vibe wherever you're at. I hope you feel energized. I hope you feel good, and different things like that. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to bring my friend Bernardo back and have him share another one of his, thank you, everybody. Share another one of his wonderful pieces if you can. You do that little...
Hey, Bernardo.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, so I just you're back. Okay, you're back. Your video's back. Great. Take it away, Bernardo.
At this time, I'm going to share the newest piece added to my my Black History poems. I noticed when Mrs. Cayenne was reading on her wall, there's a picture of a woman who talked about the Black experience very much so. So much that the piece, damn, Mississippi Goddamn, kind of made me almost fall out of my chair when I heard it. And but I saw her recently on the Netflix film, well, not Netflix, I think it was Hulu, had the film from Questlove, on the Summer of Soul in Harlem, the same year they had Woodstock. And Nina came on stage to tell us about a song she had just written based on a play by Lorraine Hansberry called Young, Gifted, and Black. And when I heard it, I reflected back to when I was a young teen and heard that, and it was something I needed to hear because kind of like the poem you were talking about, Brenda, there's been so many, it's kind of like the whole Black experience has been spray painted with all kinds of derogatory things that, I felt like I was being torn down. And her poem, her song lifted me up. And To that, I give homage, and I wrote a poem. It's probably going to be a series. This is the first of the series. It's called YGB, My Testimony, My Plea. To be young, gifted, and Black is under attack, has always been. When Funkadelic said America eats its young, what was inferred is they are not your friends. They, who is they? The ones that say you are up to no good. The ones that say you are from that hood. Leave out the word neighbor, as if they should distinguish you are not. And the rules of policing seem to point to the extinguishing of you a lot. But you can be lifted. You can be saved. Even as they ban the books to look the other way. Even as we say to them, these are the results of faulty systems. This is the hate you gave. All the way from slavery to Jim Crow, separate but equal, the Black codes. To be young, gifted, and Black meant to carry a heavy load. Meant to know that you were gifted but would not be given chance. But somehow, some way, our ancestors found ways to advance. And now it is your turn to prance. We have always had to rise above. We have always had to lean on love. Those lost in drugs have given up, almost. I was caught up, almost lost, came close. But prayers from my family from those dark depths pulled me back. Brave, attentive, caring, kind were their acts to help the one they loved, once young, gifted, and Black. To be young, gifted, and Black was under attack in 1971. I was, and it was only because I was Black. I was even called nigger. And it did not come with no dap. It came with a sneer, a jeer, almost a cheer. Felt like I was slapped down to my soul, like my head snapped back. Felt maimed, and I blamed, and I stopped believing in all that was in me, in all worth achieving. But because I was planted by a river of faith, the rainbow's end around the bend helped me to mend and never break. For the sake of us all, I heed to this call. I keep praying for a better world for every little boy and girl, but especially for those who need help the most, help to be given under the lash of blatant racism. I impart them with a poem, with decree, like Moses did the sea. As word heard in the beginning, I now plead with them to be Black excellence, be bold exemplary, be bright emissary, be blessed epitome, be blazing energizer, be brave encourager, be brilliant educator, be beautiful emphasis, be best example, be benevolent exquisite, be who you envision. Don't let life set you back. Be young, gifted, and Black with soul intact. And that's a fact. And that's a fact. And that's a fact. In this world, you can be so much more when you see you are young, gifted, and Black. And that's a fact. And that's a fact. And that's a fact. Thank you.
Great job, Bernardo.
Wow, Bernardo,
Yay.
thank you. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, so that's the heart of a poet and of poetry, right? We are our heart is right there, right? And we're just pouring out and just saying, listen, I have vulnerability of expression and of feeling and of love and of pain and of all of these wonderful things to share with you. And I felt every bit of that, Bernardo, and you put so much into it. You just always kick it up a notch. So thankful, so thankful for your presence here tonight. So glad that you could come and make it, right? Because we're all busy. Like, I don't know how this happened. Everybody's like all busy everywhere all the time. Thank you for coming. Thank you for sending me the note, and we're so glad. However long or short you can stay, I just hope you have a great takeaway. And, you know, we're so happy that you could come. And Bernardo, that wasn't to you, that was somebody else.
Yeah, sorry. Like trying to manage the Zoom too.
We're just kind of shifting, right? We see these conversations popping up. But back to you, Bernardo, brother. That was on point. So we have another, well, before I go to the next poet who's going to share a poem, I do want to thank Cynthia for her artwork. It was called Can You See Me Now? If you saw on Facebook, if you saw the advertisement for the poetry gathering, you did see, it's like a slither. It's like an eye. You can still go to Facebook and see it. But Cynthia is a local poet, an artist in Silver Spring, a very good artist. And so let me do a little something. When I first moved to this area, I lived in Silver Spring, Maryland with my sister. And I met this lady here, Lisa, at the art salon. And that was 10 years ago.
It was so and Cynthia was the host. Cynthia Carroll Johnson.
That's right.
Who's here with us. Thank you,
Cynthia. And so we just hit it off right away. And she was just so appreciative of my poetry. And I was just so appreciative of her appreciation and her determination to bring art and culture and beauty into the space in Silver Spring. That we have just remained friends and probably will remain friends like forever. And so that's how we know each other. That's how, even though I live in Oxon Hill, Maryland now, I have peace in my heart in Silver Spring.
And you're my boss now too.
Yeah.
She's my boss.
Honestly, I'm the president
of the board
for Silver Spring Town Center. So they have wonderful programming. And because we're in the virtual space, we have been able to expand outside of Silver Spring. And so now we are garnering a larger audience. We've had poets as far away. Didn't someone from Australia? From Australia spoke at one of our programs. So absolutely wonderful. So now we're going to
Stacy and her new husband who just joined us. Stacy was in Estonia with me when I served in the Peace Corps.
Yeah. So we are now going to hear from Miss Joanne
Growney.
Thank you. Growney like brownie.
Great to see you, Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
Thank you. And my special poem tonight is by Lee Hinton, who is a Pennsylvania poet that I have known for a long time. And today I posted his poem in my math poetry blog. And the title of the blog post is Black Boys at the Blackboard Doing Math. The title of Hinton's very special poem is called Uses of Cotton, Eraser. When my brother tells the story, he forgets to mention the sock, black and worn. Mom darned it in 3 places. Dad used it as an eraser. I never leave out the part about him teaching us numbers, when to add, how to subtract. He set up a blackboard in the backyard and wrote problems on it, even invited the neighborhood kids. We earned a piece of candy for each one we got right. 4- and 5-year-old black boys standing at the blackboard doing math and hoping never to need the eraser, hoping to taste a Tootsie Roll. Back then, I didn't know the whole story, how Mom and Dad sat at the Formica table in our yellow kitchen as he counted his jobs and the money from each one, while Mom mended the holes in our socks. We slept upstairs and never worried or counted sheep, knowing they'd always fix the holes, at least until we learned to do the math ourselves. Poetry by Lee Hinton. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. We really, really do appreciate that so much, Joanne. It's always so good to see you.
It's nice to be here and hearing all these poems. Thank you. Thank you.
And while we have Joanne Growney on with us, I wanted to let everyone know Joanne is going to be hosting our Sparkle event, Senior Women in the Arts, on Wednesday, March 9th at 2 o'clock on Zoom. So we have 3 wonderful creative women, Elaine Robnett Moore, who's a jewelry artist, and we also have, Claire Wilson, who's an artist, and then Nalima Devi, who is a South Indian classical dancer, choreographer, and educator. Nalima Devi, who's also, they're all wonderful. So please join us with Joanne hosting Sparkle Senior Women in the Arts on Wednesday, March 9th at 2 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Okay, so this next piece is called Before a Cell Phone Video. And, I think about this a lot because before cell phone videos, what the truth was awful suspect when it came a lot of times between African-American people and authority figures. So it put me in a strange place to think about what people have to swallow, so to speak, before a cell phone video. Into history's disappearing mirrors, black whirlwinds are beating through the soundless echoes of whipbacks of shredded fingers. Talk to me, tongues of fire. Humiliation burns through the wall of whiteness. The spaces in history are filled with dunghills infected with hate. The square is in the middle as an auctioneer yells, sold. Nothing comes out of violated and trembling. The voices of giants whisper passage through tree rings. The weary walk barefoot, their heels thickened and callous. Disease washes up on all shores, holding the identity of a man by the color of his skin, judging the content of character of a woman by her gender. The air carries betrayal. We are swelling, festering, gripped by superficial seams of normal. There are eyes watching everywhere, ears hearing everything. Videos are carrying caskets of their own making. Bodies of injustice baptized to the submersing suffering. Death piles into gory stacks, waiting for undertakers, planted among the thorns. Blood roses are dripping. Grief falls into large holes, cavernous bottoms in oceans and earth. No reckoning, no retribution, all fall silent. Before a cell phone video. Thank you, Lisa.
We have everybody muted, so, but I see all the hearts and comments.
Yeah.
So let's see, who do we have next up to share a poem?
Do you want to go again?
Bernardo.
Thank you, Bernardo.
Diane.
I see. Can we, let me ask her. Okay, so I'm going to privately ask someone if they'll read again. They probably know who they are.
Okay.
Is that
So
Patrice Smith, the poet?
who was that? Is that Bernardo?
Yes, is that Patrice Smith I see? Is she Patrice Smith, the poet?
Yes, she is here.
Yes,
I don't want to put her on this. Oh, yes. Thank you, Patrice.
Yay, she said she'll share.
Yes, because her share is like beautiful. So thank you, Patrice, for sharing a poem.
Great.
We appreciate it.
Okay.
Hey, Brenda, one other thing. Joanne just brought up a very good point. If anybody out there who's not a poet, who's got a poem, a favorite Black poet, and they want to read it, that's a good time to do it. I mean,
yes, absolutely.
You got Maya Angelou out there. You got my man. Why does his name escape me? He's my hero. The dude from Langston Hughes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You got powerful poets out there, so
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm still waiting in the wing, so you go ahead and get somebody else though.
Okay. Patrice says she's not quite ready.
Okay.
So I will read.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Maya Angelou, Still I Rise.
Yes.
If that would be, I can pull it up quickly. I mean, we were not planning this. So I've just got to pull up the poem. Oh, we were not planning this at all. I never knew so many poets were shy. We usually have more people coming. Still I Rise. I'm sure many of you know Maya Angelou's Still I Rise, which is an awesome poem, and I will do my best without having ever read it aloud.
Yay! We got a virgin reader here, y'all.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like the suns with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dreams and the hopes of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. And that's Maya Angelou, Still I Rise.
Very good for a first
Thank you,
read.
Maya Angelou. We love Maya Angelou.
Yes, that was an excellent first
Thank
read.
you.
That's so good. So good. So let's see what we have.
Patrice just logged back in.
Okay,
So,
is she ready?
Chat here. Oh. Oh, she just changed devices, I think.
Okay.
Because I just let her in while I was reading.
Okay, so
So
we're gonna
maybe
give Patrice a couple of more minutes, and Miss Diane Wilbon Parks will grace us with another poem. Woohoo! Go Diane!
Yay.
Go Diane! Go Diane! So,
Well, let's see. I have, I'm not going to start my video because, I'm helping you all out here this evening, okay? So what I'm going to read, let me just give it a little background. This poem really came out of my frustration of seeing videos. I think we all see the same thing, but somehow the justice system just does not weigh in fairly a lot of times. And so this poem came out of that frustration. And this is entitled Whispered Truth. White lies breed a new language, a rose-colored discord that sparks a dark side. You tell yourself truth is undeniable. It only has one eye. Black smoke rise, carrying tongues of silver, spinning clouds like brethren. The charcoal air drapes a crimson moon in black soot, leaves fingerprints of the dead and their innocence. The evidence of mounting lies slip back to yellow, back to pardon, back to white lies. The drifting ashes covering the earth no longer have language. The offering of their shadows will not cleanse the earth, but keep them as memorials that despise untruths, cupped in wings that fly into an authored sun, where wind and whirls will never forget the whispered truths of the dead. I'm going to read, and this is something that I really want to read only because Bernardo did his poem with the B words. And so Bernardo and I were talking one day. This is part 2 of, and I don't know how it's like, oh my goodness, poets having almost like a marriage of words, but this is the second part of that poem, and it's very short. Beautiful, bold, brown bodies beaten, bound, battered, broken, bruised, burned because Black bodies been born, been bought and brought. Breathe. Because biases breed bitterness beyond blindness, beyond binding. Breathe. Be better by being beacons, beaming brightest, breaking barriers, beautiful Black boy, bae, brother, boo, batting, believing, betting, brown, beautiful Black brown babies, born blameless, begin, believe, become, bloom, be brave, build, broaden, behold, breathtaking beauty, blossom brilliantly, brightly, be blessed beyond boundaries, be big, boundless, begin. My B poem.
Awesome.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Incredible.
Bravo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Every single word.
Every word.
That's right. It's a B.
Word was B. Like there was no and, there was no, nothing.
It's B. B.
Yes.
Even the commas and periods had B's on it.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I would love to reprint that poem and any of the others that folks shared. I'd love to print your poems in the SSTCi newsletter, either this March one that's going out March 1st or for a future. You can always email me at lisa@silverspringtowncenter.com if you want to share it with 10,000 other people in the community.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely stunning. Fabulous, fabulous, Diane. Love it. Always, 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 always. Okay, so I was supposed to have a special guest, but maybe she's probably running a little bit late, so maybe she'll still show. So right now we're going to see if Miss Patrice Smith
I
is
am ready.
Hi, Patrice.
Hi, everyone.
Happy to see you.
I would love to
Okay,
just
so-
listen and enjoy the poems, but you all won't let me, so
No.
I had to run and get my book and put
You
on my glasses.
You should have known. You should have known.
I should have known. Okay, well, I'm going to read one of my poems, a short poem. It's called Safe Passage. Downpours, siphoned from the richness of the indigenous land, pouring freely into vacuous vessels, flowing assuredly and rushing relentlessly, rippling steadily over meandering streams, through raging rivers to wed with transatlantic waterways that await to swallow their cornucopias of much needed nourishment. Their spirits soon swiftly swept away and transported thousands of nautical miles to the banks of a continent abroad, toward waiting hungry souls who stand with unquenched thirst, peering beyond into the far distance from the shrunken, seamless shores, longing to be drenched with a severed history and once again embrace mother's long lost love. That's it.
That's great.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Patrice. I always appreciate you. And we'll leave you alone now.
Do you have another one you want to share?
I'm just going to keep my book nearby just in case.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Did you publish a book of your poetry?
Yes, I have. This is my second book.
Oh, can we see what it's
The
called?
Drum That Calls.
Oh, great.
There I am on the front.
Well, we have time for you to do another one.
Okay. Afterwards, huh?
Okay,
You'll
we'll
get back
call
to me.
after. we'll call on 2 more people and come back.
Okay. I have short poems. They're not very long, so it won't. You can squeeze me in anywhere.
Oh,
Okay, we'll call you right back.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no long or short in richness, right?
Okay.
That's just okay.
That's what they say.
Yeah. That's what I say. I don't know.
That's what you say.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Quality. Okay.
So yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is untitled. Last year, Mothers of the Movement were downtown DC trying to get the George Floyd bill passed, and so I wrote this poem for that. So it's a little toward the end, it gets kind of you're trying to pump it up in the event. Mothers of the Movement, we have said I can't breathe a million times in walled houses against the dirty ground. Sorry, have to start over again. I just totally lost my place, y'all. So I tried to make it big and I messed it up. Okay, so starting over again. We have said I can't breathe a million times in walled houses against the dirty ground and metal. Millions have cried, mama. But watching a murder unfold in one global moment, the whole world was infected and weeping, the angry and raging infested with invisible particles. But though our eyes may weep, this is a warrior speak. The wombs of Black women are screaming for justice. Through ashes of fire and determination, the voices of mamas will change this nation. We have not evolved from something inferior. We have not come from mud, from clay, from the bottom of the earth. Our crowns were broken, our bodies robbed of the great life they were destined to live. We were sacrifices offered up, all for profit, for the ill-gotten gains, for the unfair harvest of low lives. They spewed their violence across continents. Our peoples were forced in positions of subservience that raised this country up. And now in the days of hanging low, the true past exposed, we heard the moans, we were watching it. We heard the despairing words, we were seeing it. A man tasting bitter death cries out to his mama. When mothers are raising up to claim their rightful ancestry as queens, there is no belly fire. There is no slow steady of determination greater than a mother who bore flesh in her flesh, who nurtured life in her body, seeing her children pass through death's door, swallowed up in eternal night before her. But the bones of our Black people are heavier, weightier. In the grieving quiet of still light, we remain ready to fight. A beating has started, it cannot be stopped. Here the drum beats, the drum walks, the drum talks. It started in Africa and was brought here. And though our eyes may shed many tears, as long as our hearts are beating, we are demanding freedom, freedom for all. Hear the rallying call. We will not stop, we do not tire. This is an unceasing righteous fire. Justice now, true equality for all. Hear the rallying call. So that was from Mothers of the Movement.
Great. Awesome.
Woo, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Great.
We want to do Bernardo again?
Yeah. Is Bernardo ready to come back? Bernardo?
He might have stepped away.
Okay, maybe he stepped away. Who else would like to share?
There's somebody down there.
Brenda, I'm surprised that Miss D. Lawrence has not shared anything.
Oh, this is a
Seriously, Diane?
Seriously.
Where is she ready to share?
I don't know.
Is it D. Lawrence, you said?
Uh-huh.
Would you like to share, D?
No. I don't have anything to share.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It is not a problem. So I'm going to do Remarkable, the remarkable hope. The remarkable hope of those who were called Negroes defined the perseverance of an incredible spirit. The world was turned upside down for the Africans, kidnapped ancient ancestors of those in America that simply would not believe they were forsaken. Who were they? 100% human, tribes, people, languages, cultures, beliefs, and some bold, incredible confidence that would not be shaken. You know, I'm going to actually move away from that because I feel another poem calling me, and I want to read that. All of a sudden, it's just like, why don't you read that poem? So I am going to read this poem here. There it is. Okay. It's called Grandmother's Poem. My granddaughter's souls are burning. They stand on the edge of the ancestor circle, whispering at the screams that rise up. They stack memories in their bones with the building. These youths carry glory and passion as threads of tragic and powerful they tracks beside their journey. Time will walk up out of their skin to look into mirrors of beauty and see greatness reflecting. Not the dull coat of Black labels that stamp them into small statutes of partial and imperfect. Shy moments of Black swans are still expanding. Braids cover tickling and protecting brown beauties, exquisite and clean, long-limbed and gentle. The fiery candlelight souls emanate through the darkest of days, lighting in power, coming into their own. What I learned from a tree is that it is still glorious, the silence unperturbed by the weather. There are elements and heat, but nothing stops the beating. Grandmother's poem.
Great. Nice. So I think we have Patrice coming back, was it? No, who
Bernardo's back.
Oh, Bernardo's coming back. And then after that, we have, was it Patrice that was going to read again from her book?
She said she.
Right.
She
After that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'll read after Bernardo.
Yeah, take it away, Bernardo.
I can read after Patrice if you want. I went away because I had to get a drum.
Oh.
How can you have an African program without a drum, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Anyway, I was looking at Patrice's wall and it inspired me because there was a poem I forgot about. One of the icons on the wall that she has, but Dr. King is one of Malcolm. And there's nothing, to me, Black History Month is about lifting up our heroes. It's not always about, talking about the victimhood of it. It's lifting the heroes as well. So I did discover that piece I like to do. I still got Kings and Mountains in the background, but I'd rather do like you did and hear this poem that called to me. It's honor Brother Malcolm. And if it's okay, if I come back and do Dr. King, if that's cool. All right? All right?
That is absolutely fine. Yes, absolutely. We would love it.
Now, something that is being birthed at the moment, like Brenda talks about, the poets. There's a poem that's going to say, I'm going to be working on in the coming months based on what happened here tonight. It's called Invitation to My Other Sisters and Brothers. And it's a poem that starts with, I invite those with skin tones labeled white to come celebrate with me, connect and show connection of Black history, show what you know, bring concern and learn inclusion, because this is not just about us anymore. In the beginning, it was about us needing to know about us, but now we need to share that information with others so they can understand when they see us, kind of like those two ladies, y'all two sitting side by side, you and Lisa, that when you see one another, you lift each other up in value because you understand something about each other. We all know about Betsy Ross and everything, but everybody don't know about Maya Angelou. So let's share the wealth, and I'm gonna invite them to the next time we do something that they come on out and show us what they got. I also think that when you know somebody's history and you know they brought something of value to the party, you respect them more. And it's harder to put them down and say they don't count, they're dismissed, they don't matter. When you recognize, things like heart surgeons and traffic safety lights and ironing boards and telephones and all of that stuff that have been contributions of Black people in this country, then it's a lot harder to just put them down if they don't count, because they do. Right? So anyway, Malcolm X, the next chapter. Malik El-Shabazz, he is larger than life. A unique study in Black and white, insight born of a young man whose family torn and shred because of their desire to move ahead. Robbed of his father, robbed of his mother, he began to rob others, becoming Detroit Red. Caught and imprisoned, he found new knowledge in religion and began the grand transition to his fame. Malcolm X, inexplicably tied to the Nation of Islam with that name, where he symbolically cast off the shame of a slave master's holdings, boldness in his claim of new being, of new seeing through new eyes. From Malcolm Little to Detroit Red, to Malcolm X, to Malik El-Shabazz did he rise. Transformation after transformation after transformation, he transformed the nation's sight in regards to Black and white. Even more light did he bring after traveling to Mecca, where he saw the true connection was in the spirit. He tried to tell the masses, but some did not want to hear it. So they set their eyes on extinguishing his light. He knew his plight, but he did not fear it. No matter, he'd already come to be a brand new man. Allah had found him, unbound him, set him free. And some will not agree this is the way the story goes, but I know because the spirit told me so. If you can truly hear this story, surely you would all be more impressed. I bid you think upon this glory next time you speak of El Haj Malik El Shabazz, known to most as Malcolm X.
That was great. That was
wonderful.
That was
Yeah,
inspiring. Oh my gosh, you know. And while you were sharing that, Bernardo, I just thought the greatness of humanity is our ability to transform into better. You know what I mean? That is the greatness of our, because that's what that man did, man. He epitomized that, absolutely epitomized that. And it's so inspiring to know at any point in time, we all have the fortune and the capability to do something just like that, to a wonderful magnitude. So thank you for sharing the transformational journey of Malcolm X through poetry. That was
Thank you,
very
Brenda.
nice.
I appreciate you seeing it and calling it out. That's a beautiful thing. We connected to the spirit system.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Okay, so
did you want to do this one for Women's History Month or
okay. Okay, I'll do Phenomenal Woman.
It's also appropriate for Women's History Month.
Coming up Women's History Month. Maya Angelou, who we all know was just a phenomenal woman in her own right. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I start to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. I say it's in the reach of my arms, the span of my hips, the stride of my step, the curl of my lips. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. I walk into a room just as cool as you please, and to a man, the fellows stand or fall down on their knees. They swarm around me, a hive of honeybees. I say it's the fire in my eyes and the flash of my teeth, the swing in my waist and the joy in my feet. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Men themselves have wondered what they see in me. They try so much, but they can't touch my inner mystery. When I try to show them, they say they still can't see. I say it's in the arch of my back, the sun of my smile, the ride of my breast, the grace of my style. I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Now you understand why my head's not bowed. I don't shout or jump about or have to talk real loud. When you see me passing, it ought to make you proud. I say it's in the click of my heels, the bend of my hair, the palm of my hand, the need for my care. 'Cause I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. Maya Angelou, right?
Yes.
Never gets old, right?
Who doesn't love Maya Angelou?
Oh, I love that poem.
Absolutely great. So Miss Patrice, you ready to share another one for us?
I'm ready.
All right.
So I was going to share. Do I start my video or do you start it? It says I can't start it. Oh, okay.
We're pulling it up right. There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Took us a second.
I was going to share my poem to Black youth, a short poem I wrote to them. But because of Bernardo, I turned to page 51 and I'm going to share my poem about Martin, Malcolm, and Mandela, inspired by partially behind the picture that he sees in my house here, hanging on the wall. Mine was also. It's called distinctively chosen. Martin, Malcolm, Mandela, men of distinction, meritorious among many, leaders of chance to make change. They marched, preached, prayed in prisons, on platforms, to crowds, at public spaces, before standing at the pearly gates, where they're still speaking timeless truths, embedded in silent words of memorable moments, measured as priceless treasures that extend beyond life and have remained planted, continuing to fan the flames of passion for absolute power, freedom, and equality for all mankind.
She didn't hear it. Now we're unmuted.
Oh, thank you.
Am I muted?
Thank you so much. No, we were muted.
Oh.
I was like, does she hear us? No.
Where can we get your book, Patrice?
You can get it from me, or you can get it on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Okay, Miss Patrice Smith.
Yes.
There's the benefit of buying from Amazon in that you are a verified reviewer, and then that adds more credibility. So I'm actually purchasing a book. We have someone who just released a book from our community who many of you may know, the photographer Chip Pye. He followed Chuck Brown and the Go-Go band around and documented his life for the last couple of years of his life. And he just came out with the book, and we are going to have him do a book talk for us. And it will be I believe it's the last Thursday of March. You'll have to look for our newsletter or look on our Facebook page or something. And about DC Go-Go movement. It's mostly photography.
Oh yes, I'm very interested in the Go-Go movement. I'm a Washingtonian, so you know.
Right. So so he wants people to purchase it from him, but he actually sold out. And I had told him, I think since you're about to sell out, I'll just buy it on Amazon, and then I can give a review and be a verified reviewer.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And he's at Politics and Prose tomorrow at, I think, 2:00. I have reservations to go see his book talk at Politics and Prose in
on DuPont Circle.
the one in Eastern Market.
Oh, okay. Northeast.
Yeah. So in Eastern Market. So at 2 or 3 tomorrow. So
okay.
Chip Pye on his book about.
Well, I'll be happy to submit my poems to you for whatever compilation you're making.
Great, and then I can put a link to your book also, or your books, because you said you have 2 out, right?
I have 2, yes.
Great, yes.
Yes, thank you.
If you send it to me, Lisa at silverspringtowncenter.com.
Okay.
And I'll put it in the chat now for everyone. Great.
Somehow my chat is not working. I don't know why.
It has to pop up. So if I make a chat right now, you'll see it light up.
I mean, it was working when I was on my phone, but when I came here, I only see the last 2 or 3. I don't know. I wanted to make some comments to Bernardo's poem. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so grab it when it pops up, and that's my email if anyone would like to send in. And even if people see this video at a later time, we can always receive your poetry as well as your artwork. We have a section in the newsletter called Our Creative Community. And then if you have events happening in or around Silver Spring, we can or virtual events too, we can advertise them in our newsletter. So great.
All right, so Dee does have something to read for us.
Up again.
Dee Lawrence, yes.
Okay,
thank you.
So you guys had me dig something out. I haven't. I have all these things, but because you know what I write, romantic suspense novels, and every now and then I'll probably toss something in that's non-sexy. So this is called Polarizing Thoughts. Politics polarize us. Blue side, red side, or whatever color you choose as an independent. We should all be humane. At the core of each man and each woman, a sense of decency must lie. Our differences as a people should unite, not tear us apart. The Bible with its many passages shouldn't be used as a prop to justify our insanity, our conviction of doing so many wrongs. Where are the sound minds? The ones that say no more, signing petitions, marching, protesting, and detesting polarizing thoughts. Thank you.
You that was a powerful one. Thank you so much for sharing that, dear. Appreciate it. So we're going to maybe wrap up a couple of minutes early. Do we have anyone who wants to share? I think Bernardo said maybe he had one poem left. If anybody else wants to share beside him, please let us know now. So otherwise, I'm gonna have Bernardo share and then I'll share and then we'll call it a Friday night, right? Sounds good?
Yes. Yeah, this is one of my babies. This poem here is one of the ones I wrote when I was with still am with Collective Voices, but we were doing the poetry extravaganza, and this one is another one for the babies, to tell my story that I too was once a child. I too had dreams, and this is my experience. When I was a kid, we played a game called King of the Mountain. Oh, I know some of y'all have played the same game, only with a different name, maybe King of the Hill. But it really didn't matter because the kingdoms was not real. At that time, it was about building our self-esteem. We were children with dreams tall enough to reach the moon. We'd fall down, get up, resumed our quest to reach the top. We grabbed, we pushed, we shoved. Most of us were friends caught up in wanting to win. Right then, it was not about the love. It was about those dreams of finding self-esteem atop an imaginary mountain in a society that blatantly treated us so mean. Locked us down, watched us drown, tossed us to be lost, never to be found. In this land of freedom, there was this bold-faced evil, separate but equal, but it was not. If it was hot in some park you got to play in, you couldn't even quench your thirst. More than the discomfort of no water was the hurt, facing the sign, blind to your existence, denigrating your worth. So we play games where we might be on top. There we might be able to cause the disgrace to stop, to chase the title, the position, the acclaim, as a child finding a state of being worthwhile in a game. To have to reach past this ridicule, to face this refrain for years. Imagine the frustration, the anger, the tears. And one day there appeared a king talking about mountains. He said some wonderful things about them. How freedom would ring from Stone Mountain in Georgia to Lookout Mountain in Tennessee. He named their names. He made them real. The Rockies and the Alleghenies would proclaim us to be free. He restored our dreams on that day in '63. On that day, a dream was planted. I would not have to play king of the mountain for the rest of my life in order to find peace. He spoke, and I believed. If I tried, I might succeed. All because a king spoke of mountains.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, I'm still feeling that. That was, thank you. Thank you for sharing your voice and your words and your heart. Thank you so much, Bernardo.
Thank you so much.
Always so thankful for your shares at these events. If we could only just do poetry all the time, but gotta work, right? So thanks for everyone coming out. I do want to end on a positive note. We definitely have a resilient history as African American people. We definitely have a testament and a testimony that about our ancestors and about our life that is valid and that continues to shine through the children who are born each and every day as opportunities are afforded us and we just move forward. So I thank you all for celebrating poetry and Black history with me. I thank you, Lisa, for asking me to do the program. So we just have an opportunity to express the wonder and the joy and the powerful excellence that is us, that is our people, and that we share it among all people. We have that to share among all people. So this last poem is called Hope, Her Gentle Touch. Hope always almost appears in the morning, softly like the dew clinging tears of God, imperceptible, unnoticed, until you touch patches of green and meadows of green and it touches you back. Hope touches you back. It is soul cleansing against the pain and the depression and the wrongs and disappointments. It hugs like the strong man in the arms of a loving mother, sweet, soothing security against the breaking. It bolsters, gathering the strength of resolve. It moves into a bounty of love and is the perpetual stream invisible. Hope she pushes into a baptism of renewal. She resurrects with songbursts of victory. When hope comes dancing, it is an ancient stomp turning to the earth drums of life beat. We can all feel when we reach within to embrace the wellspring consolation of love and hope that intertwine, birthing powerful ideas, growing flowers over garbage fields. The ugly fades from view. Hope is a large rage of animation, light giving suspension of sparkling like crystals in creation, comforting into forlorn spaces. It is everywhere where there is not, filling vacuums of hopeless hearts and moving despairing gestures into applause unparalleled. Hope rides into the sunset, laughing at darkness. She is the conqueror, proven through every sunrise, every hummingbird song, every child born, every good fortune, every clear stream, every strong tree, every peaceful passing, every sweet dream, every good harvest, every refreshing reprieve. Hope for the newness of tomorrow. She will conquer all. She will conquer all sorrow.
Awesome, Brenda.
Thank you all so much for coming.
Yes, thank you, Brenda, for hosting a poetry gathering in celebration of Black History Month. We have 3 more days, but we also want to remind you to celebrate Black history all throughout the year, not just in February. And that's what SSTCi strives to do. And we also celebrate all people from our community. So we look forward to having you join us for more programs. Thank you to all the wonderful poets.
And you can unmute if you want to say anything at all, or say bye, say hi, whatever.
Great job, Brenda.
Great job, Sims.
Oh, hello, Larry. Oklahoma.
We got Oklahoma in the house. It's my big brother. Always.
Black History rocks, baby. Black history for everybody.
Thank you. And you got Brooklyn in the house.
Oh,
coming
Brooklyn.
to you from New York.
All right.
You're in Brooklyn, Cynthia?
I'm up in Brooklyn for a few days. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, enjoy.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Thank
Nice.
you.
Yeah.
This was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you
all of you for sharing.
Artwork.
Yes, thank you for sharing your artwork and promoting this program. Can you see me now? We often
my
feature
pleasure.
your artwork. So we love you, Cynthia. So
Love you guys too.
Enjoy your time in Brooklyn. And thank you again to Bernardo, Patrice,
special thanks.
Steve,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Diane, all the poets and all the poets who shared tonight, and to Brenda for hosting.
Yay, Brenda, for Brenda.
We'll have her host another poetry gathering again soon.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes.
Sometime this summer.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, yes.
Thank
You all have a
you.
wonderful night.
Okay.